Hey, welcome back to Rithmetic with Ron. What happens when you do long division and the answer doesn't come out even? There's a couple ways that we can handle that, and I'll show you today. Let's go ahead and start today's lesson with the question, what is 8 divided by 5? This is not going to be a whole number, so let's go ahead and set it up as a long division problem. And what we're going to talk about today is how do we write this with a remainder or with a fractional quotient or a fractional remainder, okay? Let's start by asking ourselves the question, how many times does 5 go into 8? Well, 5 can fit into 8 once. And if I multiply 5 times 1, I get 5. And what I have left over is 3, okay? That 3 is left over. There are no other digits here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write remainder with an R and 3, okay? What this really means is that there's 3 left over after I fit 5 into 8 one time. And one way you can think about this is 5 times 1, let's do that over here, 5 times 1 equals 5, and then since there's 3 left over, we can add that on the end, and now we get 5 plus 3 is 8. Why can we do that? Well, let's remember that this problem is read as division this way. 8 divided by 5 is going to equal the answer up here. If I run that backwards, I get multiplication. 1 times 5 is 5, plus 3 more gives me 8. And then the other way that we can write this, if we wanted to do a fraction, we have one whole, but then our remainder is 3. 3 what? 3 divided by 5. We've been dividing by 5 in this problem, so the remainder is divided by 5, just like the 8 was. And so as a fraction, this problem is 1 3/5, which is just a different way of writing 1 remainder 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at a slightly more difficult example, but we're going to use the same process. How about 33 divided by 8? Okay, we're going to start by asking that same question. How many times does 8 fit into 3? Well, it doesn't. It can't fit. So we say 0 times. 8 times 0 is 0. We're going to subtract, and we get 3. And now we're going to bring down the next number. How many times does 8 go into 33? It goes in 4 times. Okay, 8 times 4 is 32. And when we subtract, we see that we have one number left over, but we have no other digits on the end. So that means we have a remainder of 1. And again, this 0 is just a placeholder. So we can take our answer and say 4, remainder 1. And what that means is that 8 times 4 is going to give you 32, plus you add the remainder on the end, and that's how you get back to your 33. Here we go. And then we add the 1. So this is the whole number. 8 times 4 is 32. Add the remainder. 32 plus 1 is 33. And that's where we started. Again, with fractions, the other way to write this is 4. And then the remainder is going to be divided by 8, just like the 33 was. Okay? So as a fraction, you would write 4 and 1 divided by 8. The remainder divided by 8, just like 33 was. Let's take a look at one final example for using remainders and fractional quotients. How about 22 divided by 7? Okay, 7 doesn't fit into 2, so I'm going to put a 0, multiply, and subtract, and bring down the next digit. 7 fits into 22 3 times, and 3 times 7 is 21. So now when I subtract, I have 1 left over, and that's going to be my remainder, a remainder 1. So just again as a review, 7 times 3 is 21, plus 1 more gets me back to 22. And then to write this as a fraction, I have a whole number 3. My remainder is written up top, and we're still dividing by 7. So we would get 3 and 1/7. Look how we took our long division problems and we handled the quotient by either writing it as a remainder or writing it as a fraction. Hope you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and leave me any comments or suggestions for future videos. We'll see you next time.